Good evening, July the 20th. This is the 1 year anniversary of Michael Jamal Brooks' passing. I'm a patron. I'm a Brooksy. I not as involved as I should, but when I watch his content, it kind of helps you with your grief a little bit. To know other people are as affected as as affected as you are, and that uh, they recognize the great loss that the left has suffered. I haven't read his book yet. Been watching his show. They drop out here and there. Been watching his post game stuff. I haven't got on his book list stuff yet. He had a lot of books he put out. I haven't got on that yet. I haven't been reading like I should. But it's something that in me watching his show, a lot of what he talked about in the earlier episodes is still relevant today. I think the show started in 2017, and this is now 2021. That's 4 years. Yeah, that's 4 years. We're still in that same political era. You know, I think at one time I thought that those episodes would become irrelevant, and they haven't. They haven't. It's you know, um, I listened to some of the Majority Report stuff. They're talking about them. I was at work. I didn't want to start crying. I listened to the first, but I don't want to hear it because I was going to start crying. I knew I was going to start crying. And listened to David Griscom. I think his producer. He's got a show now, Left Rising. He talked about Michael about 50 minutes. And I looked at Michael's sister put together a series of clips from fans and just speaking about how his work affected their life. There's a movie called Shawshank Redemption, and the two characters, Red and the Tim Robbins character, they got close. Tim Robbins' character escaped, and the Red character, he speaks about how Tim Robbins to him was like a brightly colored bird. That when you celebrate the fact that this beautiful bird that didn't belong here finally escaped, finally flew, finally broke out of the cage. And in this example, the cage represents the struggle of human existence, climate change getting worse and worse storms and getting hot all over and wildfires and just the breakdown of infrastructure all over the country. And the knowledge that nothing will be done about most of those things. Nothing's gonna. And Michael knew that too. That that the right is, in essence, going to let climate change destroy us all. And they'll just go and they're thinking like they're rich because rich people think they're gonna get in their helicopter and fly off somewhere to the mountains, to some deep underground cave somewhere, and we're gonna be paying for oxygen. We we celebrate that he's gone, that he's gotten away from this hellscape that we live in. But we mourn the fact he's gone. We mourn the fact he's not here. We miss his laugh, miss his jokes. We miss his unique perspective on the world in which we live. And I think Michael's passing for me, and I talked about this after he died. Michael's passing for me brought it home. You know, mortality or death. And I know I talked about this in an earlier video. You know, I'm not talking like I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna die. We're gonna die. No. Michael brought home to me that you gotta live for something. And that you gotta be thankful for every moment you get. You gotta appreciate people. And you gotta recognize. For me, my recognition is that we got some great people out there. Some great, profound intellectuals. And then I've got to do my part. And then I can't, sit around here and wait for someone to spoon feed me knowledge. And sit up here and here's some peas. No. I gotta read. I gotta learn. I gotta study to show myself approved. I gotta myself be better. Yeah, I think Michael Brooks' death made me think of my own mortality. I'm 31. He died at 37. I was 30 when he passed, so he'd be 38 now, I guess. Yeah. So that not gonna lie, that definitely touched me at some point. That if he can die, I can die. I don't know his medical history. Maybe he already has some other problems. I don't know. But it really hit upon me, also that you better get busy living or get busy dying. That's the Shawshank Redemption reference, another one. Got some great folks out here. And you have to let them know you appreciate them. You got some great folks, some great intellectuals. They should be protected. They should be respected for who and what they are. I guess sometimes you get in the routine in life and like things are going a certain way and you just kind of get used to it. And then, Mr. Brooks' passing was like a train crash for me, and reading people's comments on his sister's tribute to him really, really touched me, deeply touched me. Because I know other people feel the same way. That there's a guy on there that says he's never been able to watch the entire Majority Report episode after Michael's death. I haven't either. I've never watched the whole thing. I get like 5-10 minutes in and Sam's crying and I lose my shit. It's a lot of stuff that I haven't watched. I haven't dealt with quite yet. I guess another thing is that you feel like Michael had such a bright future. And you feel like not only were we cheated out of, what he would have been, a senator, whatever, but that, possibly our future children or whatever are going to lose out on the content, lose out on, the magic that he had. But as I said, it's kind of sad too that a lot of his stuff is still relevant. That's bad. If I died today, I wouldn't want any of this shit I make be relevant a decade from now. If I died tonight, if I died right now, I wouldn't want some kid 10 years from now to come on to my videos and be like, hey, this guy was talking about the rich going into outer space. And this guy was talking about, the rich leaving us. I wouldn't want anybody talking about that shit. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that what I talk about, my content, isn't relevant 5 years from now. I hope this stuff doesn't happen. I hope climate change is dealt with. I hope that this stuff, like this is bad stuff. I've talked about on here about the Outer Limits show, how we're living in that era. That's bad. Those shows, that was science fiction. That was horror. That was like, hey, in the future, we have no resources on Earth, so we're going into the Amazon and we're going into outer space to steal resources. That's bad. That's very bad. It's not good that I can watch that show. It came on in the 90s. I can watch that show 20 years later. I'm 31 years old and I'm like, yeah, this is relevant. Mercenaries going into outer space to steal planets, to steal resources. That's bad. That's not good. I mean, making aliens our slaves and stuff like that's bad stuff. Um, I think that Michael had a profound impact upon uh, all of his all of his followers, and I think that his impact was shaded and nuanced, and it was unique. And I think that we are all lesser. I think that the left is not the same. The online left is not the same as it was before him, and I hope that changes. I think it scared a lot of people. I think a lot of people, when you really dig down and you talk to people, it scared a lot of people. It really did. That someone in the prime of their life, as David Griscom was talking about this evening, he was doing the live shows and he was really kind of coming into his own. He was, starting to blow up, and then you die like that. I told my friend, earlier, I was telling him, I was getting off work. I said, Trump got COVID and he survived. Bolsonaro got COVID twice and he survived. Rush Limbaugh lived for a while after Michael Brooks passed of the final stage lung cancer. And we lost Michael Brooks to a fucking blood clot. Tomorrow's not promised. Tell the people in your life you love them. Appreciate them. I was thinking about it when they were talking earlier. I was thinking about this. You got to give people their flowers while they're here. Thank you for listening.